Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about my cars, talks about my trucks, my SUVs, and the motorcycles. Hey, good morning there, Monday morning. Wow. Yeah, for me, it's a challenge getting going this morning. Just slammed beyond slammed. And being down here in Tennessee, uploading these videos, it's just incredible how it's like my parents' house. It takes forever to upload a video. So I don't even know if you'll see this video till later today. It's debatable because I'm having to get out of here early. And hey, thanks for watching my channel. If you're a new subscriber or just somebody's checking in to see what goes on in the Monday morning conversations or the daily conversations in the morning. And yeah, wow, what a road trip. What a here in Tennessee. If you watch my channel, got a chance to finally ride the Fast Johnny Harley Davidson Street Glide. Blast of a bike. Kid got to ride her Street Bob. Beautiful weather the day we did that. Indians are parked, kind of as usual. If you watch my channel, you'd have to honestly say, why do you even have these Indians? Seems like most of your videos show you riding Harleys. I'd be like, yeah, don't disagree. Even though the Indians, for the record, are the more secure, more confident bike. I mean, they really are. But the Harleys are a lot of fun. So, my goodness, got to get my coffee in me. It's a rainy Monday morning. Something about Tennessee here. It just seems to get a lot of rain down here compared to up north here. And sure enough, yesterday at 6 o'clock last night, I started cleaning that Jeep Grand Wagoneer. And, I mean, I really spent a lot of time on it. And sure enough, here it is raining as we head back. But heading back is we're going to pick up a puppy. We're going to pick up a German Shepherd puppy, which will be a first of that breed to for me to actually ever own a German Shepherd. I've had a lot of different breeds of dogs, but kind of came to closure that it seems like things kind of happen for a reason, and for security reasons, I kind of came to closure that I think I want my kid to have a dog with her, and she works with me in my business, and she on occasion rides around by herself, and it's to take care of some things for me. And I just tell you, in today's world, I just think more than ever, does anybody just more than ever think about security? And I thought to myself, maybe that's a good theme this morning. Let's talk about security, and you can so much relate that to the cars we own and drive, and trucks and motorcycles, and your house. And motorcycles alone, they have these alarm systems on them that if you try to steal one, it kind of starts making funny noises or starts flashing lights. So these bikes have security systems on them per se. That does that make the change at the end of the day that somebody doesn't get it? Yeah, right. But now it comes to the car side, a little more sophisticated, but same thing. The right thief wants your car, even though you got alarms on them and security factors on them, they still seem to be able to steal these things and ship them off in a container or a trailer somewhere and sell them somewhere else. Anybody know these stories? Especially these Challengers are really sought after, and the Chargers are sought after to be stolen a lot. So, on the security aspect of cars, if you kind of think about it, I talked about it here a while back about cars are stolen every year, and so it's kind of interesting. The security wise vehicles, it seems not to deter the theft and the criminals to still try to steal them, and they seem to get away with it. Isn't that something? Even though they're getting so advanced, all these vehicles with all the tracking capability and just, you know, all this stuff. So yeah, I thought this morning kind of make a kind of quick video before we get on the road, because I am really slammed to get things done. And Jesus Christ, I had my daughter's birthday dinner last night, and I didn't get done making that till like 8:30 last night. So wow. So what kind of drove my thoughts on the security was hearing the other night, if I can get my little device here down here that I use, but it's so low. I mean, this is classic. I mean, this thing is just so. Now you're looking at the ceiling with me. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about looking at the the insulation in my mother-in-law's house? Maybe I can get over here on top of my Challenger. And let's see, don't get too seasick on me here as I walk around. So, I bought myself a little chef's cart here yesterday. I have to show you that at Sam's Club. And let's see what that does for us. That kind of changes anything here. You can see the motorcycles in the background. Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? How about that idea? But yeah, yesterday at Sam's Club, I got one of the little carts here that I use to take my food out of my little homemade man's cave down here in my mother-in-law's house. And I use this cart to put all my food on and drive around back to the side of the house and make the meals, because I've been carrying stuff one by one out of my refrigerator. And believe it or not, at Sam's Club, this was the last model they had. They're not even per se stocking them anymore. Just not a very big mover. But I got a deal on this thing. This thing was like $50, so not too bad. So let's get the camera back up here so you don't feel like you're. Oops, that's so funny. So my apologies there for anybody watching the channel, and I'm all over the place, right? But yeah, it's just been nonstop since I got down here. So the reason I thought about security was, and it's so debatable. So many people have different views and ideas, but I read this really in-depth article about the lithium iron phosphate battery, the LFP, lithium iron phosphate battery. That's now the sought-after battery that's being manufactured to accommodate the EV vehicles. Wow, got a breeze coming through here. I got shorts on and short sleeve shirt, and it's cool down here in Tennessee. So apparently this is a really interesting story. There's a company out of China called CATL, and it's like Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited, and I could be wrong in the exact way I said that, but it's CATL. It's the manufacturer of 80+% of the batteries worldwide. And the reason I talk about this morning is because this technology, this lithium iron phosphate battery technology, it was actually founded here in Austin, Texas, at Texas University in like 1995, 97. There were like 4 different individuals that truly developed this battery technology back in the late 90s. And to the point that even other individuals kind of got involved, and they really mastered in how putting carbon infrastructure with this lithium iron phosphate, making these batteries, made them even more powerful and longer range and better rechargeable. So a company was formed back in the 2000 years to manufacture these batteries in this country. And actually, they kind of really were on the small battery manufacturing for, technology for electronics, not cars by any means. So back in the 2000 years, it was more focused on competing against Samsung, LG, that type of infrastructure of electronics. But as time progressed, they eventually moved into the automotive battery, electric vehicle battery, and they were gifted back like in 2010 or 11 or something like that, hundreds of millions of dollars through the Obama green agenda, basically, same thing Joe Biden's doing with the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, aka New Green Deal. And so this company received hundreds of millions of dollars to try to build out the infrastructure for building electric batteries for cars. And actually, it was formed in Massachusetts. I can't think of the name of the town, but it's a pretty interesting name. You can go to Bloomberg and read all about this yourself. But the reason I'm bringing this up this morning is because it's incredible on how this technology, which is now the most sought after product in battery manufacturing, to the point that Ford Motor Company just has buddied up with CATL out of China to build a massive battery factory with it's basically being China run. China wants to build a wall around this manufacturing and have their own independence to the state body of Michigan. And I mean, it's just beyond believable what's going on. So Ford is buddied up with the Chinese, which this isn't anything new, but now it's on our home turf big time. And wow, a lot of people are really not happy about this, but this CATL technology, in so many ways was stolen from the original inventors of this company out of Massachusetts from back in 2009, 10, 11, 12. But what happened is in 2012, due to the EV manufacturing just not taking off because it was so early in its stages, it couldn't get the funding to continue to push push the bill down the road and have the believers that it would eventually be a worthwhile business model for making batteries for electric vehicles. And it had to file bankruptcy. And so in the bankruptcy, the Chinese, the CATL China company bought them, even though there was a lot of resistance from sitting senators and congressmen and other political powers and business people that felt this was wrong because they're going to steal basically U.S. technology. But many felt like the battery technology manufacturing is not something that's really to be worried about as far as the Chinese stealing that technology. So it's really in-depth article. It talks about how even before that, this company was over in China. They set up shop in Shanghai, the Massachusetts company. And even prior to getting into the battery side of cars, this company, I can't think of the name of this company. I think it's A123. That's what it is. They're called A123. And they set up shop in Shanghai to cut costs and to compete in the worldwide market of making these electronics batteries, electronic devices. And they end up having their technology stolen. They literally had to create their own compound separate from the manufacturing facility because of the Chinese trying to steal this technology and how it was made. And they even had to have one process separately made from another process of the actual manufacturing, so the Chinese couldn't figure out how to steal this proprietary advanced battery technology. But they would find computers broken and hacked into, screws loose. And so finally, they actually found a guy that did steal the technology and reported to the Chinese. And so this is a very long article, but it talks about this one key guy that was with the company that used to be with Ford's initial product design of electric vehicles back in like 2011 or 10 or something that time. And he ended up going out in this A123 company out of Massachusetts. And so, it comes full circle many years to this date now that he now has met this individual once again in his life that was caught stealing proprietary information. And come to find out, the Chinese actually didn't do anything to this guy. They actually gave this guy a ton of money to create that technology of their own in their own backyard. Oh my gosh. So the security, and once again, the security, this is what made me think about this. Made me think about my dog, my daughter's dog, that I'm getting this security dog for my daughter to ride around. I just thought to myself, security, and we've heard these stories so many times of these manufacturing vehicles and how they try to privately design all this stuff, and it's all proprietary, and you can't, get information from it. And if you do, you go to jail in so many ways if you steal a patent. And I'm sure most people watching the channel get all this language. And so for us as the United States, the article really kind of is just mocking on how our country is sitting here with a company called CATL that stole all the technology from us, that is now in our own backyard, that's now controlling the battery market with the lithium iron phosphate battery worldwide that has maybe 80+% of the world's market of building batteries. The technology came here from us. Wow. And once again, many of the sitting senators and congressmen and other people were very concerned about a Chinese company being able to buy a bankrupt company and take this technology. But back at that time, I can guarantee 2012, the average person just didn't think that this battery technology would ever dwarf the world as it's starting to do. As China right now, apparently China right now is over 50% of the EV market sales worldwide. So here's the thing. for us as the U.S. citizens, with China here knocking on our doorstep more than ever, I mean, do you feel secure? I mean, do you really feel secure the future of this country? Where I explained the other day on how the Biden administration is taking the government industrialization business model that China used. And see, the argument will be with some people is that since this country didn't have more of a governing industrialization subsidized business model, this is one reason we are in the shambles of not being the leading battery manufacturer, EV manufacturer of the world. So in some aspects, you'll have the total opposite view of people saying, yeah, but the government should have been more involved and should have handed out more entitlements, but they did. Who doesn't know the Solandra, solar panel story? Who doesn't now know the A123, hundreds of millions of dollars given to them failure? So in some ways, our government has. And now we're witnessing with the Inflation Reduction Act, the biggest in modern times government subsidy to entice the electric vehicle revolution, electric battery revolution never seen in this country. And so, wow. And now here's another article this morning that Akio Toyoda, not Toyota, but the older grandson, the grandson of a founder of Toyota, he's getting called out big time. Now there's a whole article today in the Wall Street Journal, maybe even Bloomberg, talking about how now board members and major stockholders want to dismiss this guy from being a sitting board member with a Toyota's company. They literally want to get rid of this guy because they feel like this guy is such a nuisance because he doesn't want to bend to the green agenda. He just can't see it. He just doesn't think this world in the next 15 years, I should say 10 years, 2035 mandates can survive on just electric vehicles. The infrastructure just isn't there. So he just truly believes the hybrid model, but he just thinks it's a huge mistake. So major investors of the green agenda back type of people, even in New York City's metropolitan, I guess, monies that are put into these stock portfolios and other companies, they're calling this guy out to resign from the board. They want him. They want to vote him out. They don't think it'll happen, but it's so radical at this point right now in our country that the green agenda and people that believe the green agenda are moving at a rapid pace that we've never seen ever in our lifetime to dismiss and get rid of people that object to the views and ideas that don't support the whole radical green agenda. Wow. So security. So the security of our country with China just continuing to get its footprint in our presence. I mean, does anybody else just feel like that we are so much in the total game plan of this country eventually caving to the China Communist Party? Because we are fighting among ourselves like never seen before. I mean, it's just sad, beyond sad, to see how each one of us, not calling each of us personally out, but in general, this country seeing the violence and killings and criminal activity and the hate it's just never seen in recent times. And that's a total business model for another power to be to come in and just circumvent and just take over this political powers and governing bodies because of just the disarray that we're in our country right now. We're not one. We're not the United States anymore. We're the divided states. And so sadly, the security of our well-being of the future is playing right out in front of us. And so many just don't get it. It's just so incredible. Anyways, that's about all I'm going to say this morning. Too busy, way too much to go on. Very challenging. It's incredible. For anybody who has parents and lives in these older communities or developed communities, it's incredible how when I download videos or upload videos here, like in Florida, it takes an hour or two to upload. Back at my office up there in the country in Virginia, these things upload in 10 minutes. I truly think these, talk about security on these networks that I go to and travel to. Yeah. I mean, they're just pitiful. The networks are terrible. The Wi-Fi down here is terrible. This is a very high-end, neighborhood. This is a very rich area. Same thing with my parents' house. And the internet sucks. It's the worst. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching my channel, and stay tuned for the day of the drive back to Virginia with a new German Shepherd puppy. Do I need some more coffee? And how do my other dogs react to that, right? Wow, Jesus Christ. Talk about just being the pressure. Wow. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate the support. Have a great day. Stay tuned. Hopefully, you can make more videos and give you some more adventure. I don't know. Stay tuned. God bless. Have a great day.